Hello, beautiful yogis. Since I have some friends watching this in various different states, I just want to mention that it is a perfect day here in Georgia. I just felt like sharing that. The air is just cool and warm at the same time. There's a gentle breeze. It's just beautiful and perfect. And the birds are singing. So let's do some yoga. I also want to take a moment to just thank everybody who's been writing me comments and following this and sharing it and just being a part of this. It means so much to me to be connecting as a community during this isolating time, and the fact that people are reacting and giving something back to me for it is giving me motivation to keep doing this and sharing this, and it's giving my life purpose right now during this difficult time. So it wouldn't be happening without all of you, so thank you, thank you. And with that said, I wanted to talk today a little bit about the yamas and niyamas. So, over 5,000 years ago, there was a dude named Patanjali who wrote the Yoga Sutras. It's one of the original writings we have on yoga. Obviously, there are others in other countries and other places. This is a practice that does expand the whole world and a lot of history. And a lot of it was originally passed down from guru to disciple, so not much was written early on, but the Yoga Sutras is one of the texts that has preserved through history. And in it, he lays out the 8 limbs of yoga. The asana practice, which is the physical practice that we mostly focus on in the West, literally actually means seated position. And it was actually originally just a couple of seated postures to prepare us for meditation. And it was only the 3rd limb, and each limb was supposed to be, mastered before you did the other limbs. The other limbs after the asanas involve breath work, pranayama, pratyahara, which means withdrawal of all the other senses, meditation, concentration, devotion to some kind of higher power, whatever that means to you. The first 2, though, are 2 of the most important. The first 2 that come before the asana practice, and I often think of the asana practice that we practice in the West as we get more physical with it as kind of a learning ground for the yamas and niyamas for the first 2 limbs, kind of a way to practice and embody those principles. The yamas and niyamas are principles to live by, they're lifestyles, and the yamas are personal disciplines, the niyamas are more like external disciplines, the ways in which you embody out in the world. The very first yama that all the others are based on is called AHIMSA, which means non-harming, literally translated as non-violence. And we can practice that in many different ways, in the ways we relate to each other, to ourselves, to the world, to animal life, to plant life. And we can practice it in our yoga practice. I want to mention that all of you right now are practicing AHIMSA, just by the fact that you are practicing social distancing for the sake of society, or maybe for the sake of those around you who you feel are more vulnerable during this time. The fact that in any small ways that you're able to, you're reaching out and helping others during this moment. And you're taking this time to heal yourself, to do some yoga, to concentrate and build yourself as a character, as a person, physically, mentally, and spiritually, so that you can be a vessel for the world right now when you're needed. We serve ourselves so that we can be of service to others, and that is what you're doing. So congratulations, you are practicing AHIMSA currently. So let's strengthen those skills a little as we continue our physical practice and really embody non-harming. It starts with yourself and your body, right? Your body is sacred, it is a vessel. So if anything that you're doing feels like you're straining, hurting yourself, then you need to back out and find a different method, right? You can back out, you can take a child's pose, you can lay off. Anything that I'm saying you don't want to do, don't do it. That is practicing AHIMSA. So be gentle with yourself and practice non-harming as we continue our asana. So here we go. We're going to start out just stretching out the wrists. So you're going to take your hand and stretch out the wrist. We're going to get into the finer limbs today, partly in order to practice this concept of AHIMSA and non-harming. It gives us a chance to actually nurture and practice some of the more delicate nerves that can be damaged if we overuse them, and giving them some attention. So we're giving our wrists some attention right now. Something that my sister-in-law Julie said to me, go ahead and switch it and do it on the other side, when she was working with me on handstands actually, is that no matter what you're doing, always stretch out the wrists, because we use them for everything, right? We use them to grip, to eat, on our devices, and anytime we do anything strenuous in yoga, all those sun salutations and everything else, we're using our wrists. So let's give them some love, because we often neglect stretching this part of the body. Take it the other way. Beautiful. Nice. Okay. Roll out the neck, one ear to the other. Let's just let go of anything you're holding on to right now from your day. Right, we've all been absorbing a lot from what's around us right now, from everybody around us is going through different emotions, the news, different things. So let's just kind of let that go. Remember, this is a new moment right now. This is your moment. So just ear to ear, remember, don't crunch in the back. Okay, we're going to get into the feet now. So I'm going to invite all of you to just tuck your toes and sit back on your heels. Now I know this can be very intense for some people depending on the shape of your arch, right? That's all it is, so don't get all in your ego about it, okay? It's just about the shape of your foot, how much you're feeling this. If you're feeling nothing, then that's just about the shape of your foot. If you're feeling a lot, then that's also just about the shape of your foot. But try and breathe through it, okay? Whatever level of intensity you're feeling, okay, practice some non-harming by not holding that in your neck or your shoulders or your face. Breathe into where you can soften. Where can you soften inside the effort here? Where can you relax? Where can you find peace, even as you're exerting a little bit of effort? Beautiful. Nice work. Tuck that out. Good. We'll come into some cat-cows. We got to warm up the spine. This is part of practicing non-harming as well. Really grip the earth with your hands. Spread those fingers. I'm going to get this block out of the way. Inhale up into your cat pose. Warming up the spine. Exhale out. Good. Keep going. Really be nice and fluid and gentle with this today, okay? Since we're practicing non-harming, I don't want anyone pushing themselves. Just stretch into it in whatever way feels good to your body. All right. Spread your hands again. Make sure you have nice active hands. Grip the earth. Suction cup your elbows towards you. So turn your arms towards you to activate those arm muscles. We're going to come into a brief plank to warm up the core. Remember, you can do this on your knees, or you can just skip it and take a child's pose anytime. If you're coming with me in the plank, full plank, tuck those toes. Take 3 deep Ujjayi breaths, nice fire-breathing breaths through your nose, like you're trying to make the sound of an ocean or fog up a mirror. Good. Those azaleas behind me smell so good. Raise those hips, tuck your heart towards the floor. Breathe into this, into your first down dog. You can pedal at your heels if you want. Nice. Now walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, with your shoulders away from ears. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, bring your hands to your heart. So for our sun salutations today, I wanted to do classical sun salutations, partly because we're getting into some old-time philosophy, so it just felt appropriate, and we haven't done this one yet. It's also very grounding because it takes us towards the earth. It does involve putting your knees on the floor, so if you want to do that, then maybe put some padding on the ground, like a blanket or a towel. You're also welcome, of course, to just, when I say take your knee down and take a low lunge, to take a high lunge instead. You're actually getting even a more intense quad work here. It's just a different kind of exercise. And we're going to be stretching our hands up during this movement. If you don't want to come down to the ground at all, or do the man dog, which I know some of you don't, then just take a half sun salutation, but maybe try joining us in the shoulder stretch. So I'll demonstrate that first. Give yourself a back bend. Deep inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, bring your hands to your heart, and then stretch up. And you can even do that in a chair. The rest of you that want to join me coming to the ground will do some classical sun salutations. So, take your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Give yourself a back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Find your down dog. Remember, arms and feet the same distance they were in that plank. Raise your right foot. Take that foot between your hands, and you can lower that back knee, or remember, you can keep it raised if you want to take a high lunge. We're going to interweave our fingers and reach our palms towards the sky, taking a deep chest and wrist stretch. Good. Exhale down. Come into your down dog. Raise that left foot up. Take it between your hands. Lower that back knee if you're taking that route. Interweave your fingers. Reach up. Deep cleansing, ujjayi breath. Remember, find some ease inside the effort. Take your hands down. Find your down dog. Come into a plank. Lower down your favorite way. So knees, chest, and chin, or you can come down into a chaturanga, push up. Inhale, reach on up. Come up for air. Don't crunch in the lower back. Keep your back soft. Tuck those toes, raise those hips, find your down dog. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, shoulders away from ears, long neck. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Bring your hands to your heart, feel it beating. Send some gratitude to that beautiful pulsing muscle. Maybe set an intention for the remainder of this practice. You could just take the one that I've offered, AHIMSA, non-harming towards yourself and others and all living beings. Give yourself another back bend. Salute the sun. Exhale down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Come into your down dog. Raise that right foot up towards the sky. Take it between your hands. Lower that back knee if you want. Give yourself a wrist stretch. Exhale down. Come into your down dog. Take that other leg up. Good. Take it between your hands. Lower that back knee. Interweave your fingers the other way, just to break up your habits. Reach your palms towards the sky. Good. Exhale down. Come into your down dog. Beautiful. Come into your plank. There's a little mosquito buzzing around me, and I'm not going to swat if I'm practicing AHIMSA. Come on down into your chaturanga. Open your heart up. Good. Tuck those toes, raise those hips. Down dog. Beautiful. Walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, and bring your hands to your heart. All right. Last time. Give yourself a back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale down. Find your down dog. Take your right foot up, lift it, point those toes. Take it between your hands, lower that back knee. Reach on up. Exhale down, find your down dog. Raise that left foot up towards the sky. Take it between your hands, lower that back knee. Interweave your fingers, your new favorite way. Reach on up. Exhale down. Find your down dog. Come into your plank. Lower down however you wish. Open your heart up. Find your down dog. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up and bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Thank your heart for working for you right now, for that energy pulsing through your body. We're going to come into a balancing pose, a little standing pigeon. So I highly recommend, if balance is challenging for you, to invite yourself up to a wall and hold on to the wall. This one's a little more difficult than some of the others we've done. So if you're a little newer to your practice or a little unsteady on your feet, please find a wall. Or just skip this entirely and take a child's pose. So you're going to, against the wall or on the mat, sit down like you're sitting in a little chair. And I'll be mirroring you. Take your left foot across your thigh. Flex this foot. And you calm down. Flex this foot, protect the knee. Remember, we're practicing non-harming, AHIMSA. You want to protect this knee joint. We do not have muscles in the knee. There's no such thing as a knee stretch. So flex this foot to help protect. And just sit down. Beautiful. So, for some advanced yogis out there that want to try a little arm balance from here, and you don't have to do this. This is just an option. We're going to try flying crow. Just something to play with. Remember, you can totally skip this part. Trust what you are capable of in your body. Practice non-harming here. Take your feet down to the ground. Create a little tabletop and lay your shin over the tabletop. Come down nice and low. Remember, look up and lift that back foot. And come in the flying crow. Beautiful. Slowly come up with control. And stand in Tadasana. Whatever you just did there, that's great. Even if you just continue to practice your balance or take a child's pose, then what you did is you practiced non-harming for yourself. It's beautiful. Let's try the other side. Slowly shift your weight onto your left foot, just gently, as you sit down into your chair and prepare to take that right foot over. Flex this foot. Take your hands to prayer and find a balance. You can stay here. You can hold on to a wall. You can take a break. If you want to join me in flying crow, I'll give you this version of it this time from this side. You're going to calm down. Take your hands to the ground. Create a tabletop with your arms. A nice low tabletop, but look up so you don't fall forward and bonk your nose, and lift that foot. Beautiful. Look up. I don't want you guys falling forward. We're practicing non-harming here. Take your foot down, lift on up with control, and stand. Let's tap that off with some breath of joy. Inhale, exhale. Whatever that brought up for you, let it go. Practice non-harming in your own mind. You're starting to have all kinds of negative thoughts about yourself or me or the practice or what you're capable of. Just let that go, okay? Non-violent thoughts. Exhale. One more. Good. Hang in ragdoll. Hold your elbows. Just hang. Let your shoulders release. For those of you who want to, you can try bending your knees and placing your hands under your foot. Come into gorilla. Stretch out the upper back. Beautiful. Take your hands to your hips. Slowly lift up. Flat back. Nice. Calm on down. Take a little seat. We're going to do a little bit more for the hips. So to warm up for that, let's try a little rock the baby. So you're going to take your leg up just however you can. If you can just lift it this high, that's fine. If you can do it more, put it in the crook of your forearm, that's great. You're just going to take your little foot and leg and just rock it like a sweet little baby, back and forth. Like you're rocking a little infant to sleep. And just like you would a precious newborn little baby, take this beautiful part of your being and lower it down softly. Let's take the other leg, same thing. So you can just lift it up here, whatever you're capable of. If you want, you can try putting it all the way into your forearm. Rock back and forth, nice and gently. Don't strain here, don't push yourself. Practice non-harming. Okay. And when you're done, slowly come on down onto your back. So what we just did standing, we're going to try on our backs now. We're going to come in to thread the needle. So I want you to take your right foot, take your ankle to your shin, flex the foot, and pull this towards you. And you can just grip here, or if you can thread through and grab that back leg and thread through, thread the needle. So this is a beautiful alternative to pigeon. In a later session we may do pigeon pose. Sometimes people find pigeon pose hard on their knee. So in the interest of non-harming and AHIMSA, I'm teaching you this as an alternative. Anytime you're taking my class or someone else's and they call for pigeon, this is the same stretch. You're getting the same hip stretch here. It's just a little easier on the knees. So know that this is always a good modification or alternative. Keep breathing into this. And then take this whole crazy wide-legged shape over to the side. So you're coming into a nice, beautiful, wide-legged twist. Look over that opposite hand. Good. And then just shake it out. Okay. Raise your hips up. Take your left leg across your right thigh. Flex that foot. Pull it towards you for a little thread the needle. So remember, I am teaching you this on purpose, because if we do pigeon later at some other session, I want you to take this as an alternative if pigeon feels hard on your knees. Remember, there are no muscles right in the knee joint, so we need to protect them. Speaking of protecting the knee, make sure this foot is nice and flexed. Pull this towards you gently. You should be feeling a good stretch in the hip. Use that Ujjayi breath. Release that. Good. Take that out to the side. Look over that opposite hand. Twist. Come back to center. Lift up for a moment and shake your knees back and forth. So my mother pointed out that I sometimes call this, or often call this, windshield wipers, and that's not a very beautiful yoga term. So I've decided to call this ocean waves. So make little ocean waves with your legs. Back and forth. Alright. We need a little heart opening after all that intense hip stretch and back bending. So let's take a child's pose first though. So lift your legs up. I'm sorry, happy baby pose. Lift your feet up, grab the outsides of your feet, and smile. You guys have almost completed this practice. You are beautiful, amazing people, so smile for yourself, smile for everyone else who needs it right now. If there's someone in your life right now who's feeling down and needs a little joy, send a smile to them. Send some love their way. Alright. So we're going to finish up with a nice, long heart opening, fish pose. And you have several choices here. You can take the active version, take your hands under your hips, come up onto your elbows, lift your heart up, and drop your head. If you're taking this version, you might want to come down and take a couple breaks and then come back up, because I'm going to teach a longer held restorative version of this too. If you have a pillow or a bolster, that's the other restorative version, is you can just lay down on top of that. I happen to have some blocks. If you do, then you can use these as well. If you have anything like blocks at your house, take one between your shoulder blades and one for your head as a pillow, and just lay down in a nice restorative shoulder opening, heart opening. If you want even more of a stretch than this, feel free to remove the block at your head, hold your head in your hands, and get a really deep shoulder and heart opening. Now, some people find it kind of anxious making and dizzy making to drop their head this much. If that's you, then practice AHIMSA, non-harming towards yourself, and take the block back and lift your head up. Or you can just stay here. We're just going to breathe here for 6 deep, beautiful breaths. Opening up the heart, opening up ourselves to love and joy. Sending a signal to our nervous system that we're safe, because we're exposing our throat and our hearts. And we're going to take that feeling of safety and joy and share it with the world. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. When you're done, remove whatever props you gathered. Come down onto your back, feet turned out, palms up. Just lay flat and enjoy a nice short little savasana, a moment for true thoughtlessness and stillness. Feel ready, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch behind you, take a beautiful good morning stretch. Roll over onto your right side into a sweet little fetal position, using your arms and hands as a pillow. And take a moment to embrace this beautiful, powerful, nurturing position that you started life in. You had absolutely no illusions that you were separate from any other living beings on this planet. Completely one with everything. Remember, I always say never feel lonely. Hold the entire universe inside of you at every moment. With that, slowly seat yourself up. Place your hands to your heart. I always like to offer, you can do palm on palm over your heartbeat or hands in Namaste prayer. Take a minute to feel your heartbeat, to thank yourself for your efforts today. May you be well.